Hello all, welcome back. Now in the series of the video, today we are discussing in the part 5. In this part 5 video, we will create a CI/CD pipeline using Jenkins, kubectl, Docker, and Kubernetes cluster. So Kubernetes clusters we have already installed in the my last video. Please see if you want to check that installation of the Kubernetes cluster over there. So here we will go and do the installation of the Jenkins server using commands, and in the CI/CD pipeline you will use the pipeline scripts. So agenda for today is for CI/CD pipeline. For creating the build, we need the Maven. So we will first start with the Maven installation and configuration. After that, we will install the Jenkins, and after that, we will install the Docker because you need to install the kubectl. Then kubectl is a Kubernetes tool. So for that run, we need the Docker for run that kubectl. And after installation of all these 4 items, we will create a pipeline configuration in the Jenkins. Then we will install some Jenkins plugin, which is required for running that CI/CD pipeline. And after that, we will discuss on the Kubernetes config file because we need a config file here. This config file is available on the Kubernetes server, master server. So we will take from there and we will use in the Jenkins credential configuration. I will show you this thing over there. And after that, we will use the GitHub repository URL and we will create a pipeline jobs. After creating the pipeline jobs, we will run it manually, but once it runs, then we will use the webhook configuration and we will run automated everything. So I will show you this thing also. So today in this video, we will discuss all those things, and we will use here Google Cloud for that, because we have already created the cluster, Kubernetes cluster in the Google Cloud. So first step for the installation of the Maven and configuration for that. So first we need to create the server in the Google Cloud. So let's start the demo. So you can see here, this is the console for the Google Cloud. And here you can see here VM instances. In the last video, we have created this Kubernetes cluster like master, node 1 and node 2. So here we will create one more instance for the Jenkins server. So I am writing here Jenkins, and we'll use here N2 server with 2 CPU and 8 GB RAM. And we will use the Ubuntu system for all throughout the demo. I've used the Ubuntu 18.04 and 10 GB disk space, and allow FTP traffics, and just create the Jenkins server. So in this Jenkins server, we will install Maven, Jenkins, Docker, and kubectl. So it will take a few seconds more. Yeah, it's created. And we got the public and private IP both. Now we will connect with the browser. now I'm going to the PPT. First, we will update the packages which is already there, and then we will go to OPT and create a Maven folder, and we will give the full right to the folder. And after that, we will download the Maven tar file, and we will just unzip this tar file. After that, we did some configuration, set the home path for the Maven, and after that, we will refresh the things. So let's do. Yeah, we connected to the server, Jenkins server. I'm taking the sudo and updating the commands, right? So apt update. So we are currently in the root, but we need to go to the OPT, right? Here we don't have anything currently. I'm creating a directory from the Maven. I'm giving full rights for this folder and CD Maven, right? We are inside that Maven, and currently we don't have anything, right? So let's. I think I need to. Okay, let's copy from here. Let me enlarge it. It is copied. You can see here we will get this tar file, so we can unzip it using the tar command. You can see here we will get the Maven folder over here. Now we need to set this path in the profile. This is a home path. So at the end, we will add some command over here. See, we have set the Maven path. This is OPT Maven, Apache Maven 3.6.3. You can see here. Okay, it's still here. Okay, so I'm just saving it. See, you can see we have the same path, right? This one Maven 3.6.3. Apache, you can see here, same file, opt Maven, Apache Maven 6, this path, this is the home path we have set over here, right? Now for refreshing, and we can check the what is the path is coming over here. You can see it is set and refreshed. We get this path is set for the home path, right? And this is a bin folder. Okay. Now we need to set this thing in the, after installation of Jenkins, we need to configure Maven, then we will use this path, right? So we have done for the Maven. Now we are at the root, right? Now again, now next step, we will install the Jenkins installation. So we already run the apt update. Now we need to install the Java. So just running that, it will take some time. Meanwhile, I'm explaining the slide. After that, we will just add some key. Sorry, add key and run this repository command. And after that, we will update the repository. And after that, we will install the Jenkins here in this step. And we can check the status of Jenkins over here. Let's check whether it is done or not. Yeah, it's completed. So we can check Java version if you want over here. This is installed, right? 1.8 version. So we are good from Java side. Now we need to run this command over here. This is a key is added over here. Okay. Now again we have added a repository, so we need to again update the packages. We done. Now after that, now we need to install the Jenkins over here, right? So it will take some time, little bit time. Meanwhile, I'm just saying after creating this installation, it will create a Jenkins user. Now Jenkins user, we need to use this Jenkins user with a sudo access. So we will add this user into sudoers file like this using this command. And after that, this user will get the sudo rights. So let's see whether it is just completed. Jenkins installation has been done. And I am just check the status of Jenkins. It is active. You can see here, right? Now we have done, right? Now we need to give the permission for the Jenkins user. So this is the file you can see here. And you can see this is a root user already got the access for all. In same fashion, we can give access with no password for the Jenkins user, right? We have done this. So we need to save this file, right? We saved it. Now we have done the installation of Jenkins, right? Now we need to install the kubectl here, so that we need to install Docker over here. So apt update already there, so we directly run Docker, right? After that, we will check the Docker version. In the earlier demo, we have installed the Docker on the Kubernetes cluster for creating the master and nodes, both 3 servers we created earlier in Dockers. The same command. You can see it's done. Docker version you can see over here, right? See, Docker version is there, right? Now what we need to do, we need to add the Jenkins user in the Docker group for executing the command in the Docker, because we will run this Jenkins user will use in the Jenkins side, run the CICD pipeline. So we need to user should access on the Docker for creating the images, other things. So far we have added thing. We need to restart the Jenkins, and after that we can check the status again, right? Okay. Now this installation has been done for the Jenkins. We can directly access Jenkins via IP and 8080 port. But before that, accessing it, I will install the Kubernetes kubelet, kubectl for that using the Kubernetes. So installation of kubectl on Jenkins. So this is the same command which I used earlier. So we are doing here in this Jenkins system. Right. Now again we need to update the packages. Now again, I'm installing the kubectl. Okay, now we have done from this side. Now switch to Jenkins user. Currently we are doing with the root. So we need to we want to access the Kubernetes command through Jenkins users. So we need to go switch the users to Jenkins. You can see Jenkins users, Jenkins user and Jenkins server, right? Both things are Jenkins. So it's coming, right? Now we are creating the .cube folder. You can see this is the Jenkins path. This is Jenkins where live and Jenkins, and here we'll create a .cube folder, and in .cube folder we will create a config file. So we need the config file from the Kubernetes cluster master machine, which will get the master machine, and we need to save content over here. So where we will how to copy config file from the Kubernetes cluster, first we need to do it, then after that we can follow this step, right? So I am moving to the next slide. I think here you can see here Kubernetes config file. I have one slide for that, how to get it. So let's go on the Kubernetes master server. On this path, we will get this config file, right? So let's go over there. This is you can see here. This is a root. This is manager server. So let me do. Yeah. Now. Copy. Let's go to this folder. Right. Now you can see here config file is there. If I will do cat config over here, you can see this is the config file with this client certificate data, client key data, and server key data is not showing here. Let me show here more config. See, this is API version. This is in same format. API version v1 clusters is a cluster. The certificate authority data for the server. And in this context, you can see cluster name Kubernetes user. It is using the user Kubernetes admin name, current context, kind config. It is showing over there. This file, we need this file on the Jenkins machine, right? So how to copy from there? There's multiple things we can directly copy and paste from here to there. You can download this file to the local. There's a multiple way we can do it, right? So, but I will use the different method here by copying this file. I will use GitHub repository for copying this file, right? So this is my GitHub repository. I will just create one repository over here. Name is config, right? Just create repository. I will copy that file in this repository and then download to the local system, right? So we just need to follow this step only. So let's see, I'm here, right? It is config path, right? I'm here. So I will just run this command one by one. Nothing. See, git init. Because in this way I can explain the GitHub git commands also something. So just commit this because you are adding readme file first here, right? Then this is the main branch. right? Now we're connecting to the repository. It is added. Now we are pushing the files, right? Now it is asking for the username and password for my repository. So I am giving this is my username for GitHub. This is my password. So you can see it is done, right? So you can see here, I'm click on the config. You can see one readme file which I've created right now, right? But I need to copy config file here. So just you can see check the git status. What is there? You can see this is two more files are there which is not synced with this repository, right? But we need only config file. So what I will do, git add only config file, right? Now after that we need to commit it. Initial commit, right? After that we need to push it, right? Git in asking for the credential. Now you can see here, now I'm refreshing it. You can see we got the config file here, right? Now what I will do, I will download this file in the local system. Like we can clone it or we can directly download it. Both options are available, so I will clone it, right? I'm just copying this URL and opening GitHub, Git Plus here on local system. And I am going to download folder and cloning this thing here, local system. See, now you can see in the download folder, it is just created the config one, right? Go inside that, we will get this config folder, right? Now I'm opening this file in the edit node plus, right? Let me open again. Yeah, this one. So it is showing the URL for that cluster server. That internal URL, it is cluster is running at the 6443 port. So I'm copying config file from here. Now we are coming back to our slide. We have completed this slide. You can see here I have written that create any repository config, check the git status, and add the config file to the GitHub. We have used this command. And after that, we can clone this repository. We have done this slide step, right? Now go back to this one. Here we need to run this command, right? Vcube config on the Jenkins machine, right? So sorry. This is in the Jenkins server. You can see here, right? It is currently blank, so I will go and just copy this file. See. Okay. Now I'm saving it. You can see this file over here also in this location. It is there, right? Now we have done this step, right? Now kubectl installation is completed. Now you can run the command and check it whether it is connected or not. kubectl get all. Now we can see in the Jenkins server also whatever is is there in this master server, right? In the cluster. It means it is created one more client for that. Whatever action will perform on the server, we can see over here. I will show you in the master machine, manager machine, you can see here. This kubectl get on. We can see here, same thing we are getting over there, right? So we have done the kubectl installation. Now we have done this slide. Now we need to run, right? Test Jenkins. So let's test the Jenkins. Let's test over in the same. We need the public IP. You can see for Jenkins server, public IP is this, right? I am just opening here with 8080 port, right? You can see it is showing the sign-in page for the Jenkins, and it is asking for the administrator password. So usually we will get this password on this location. Just copy this path and go to the Jenkins server. Right, and we can see, check it. Yeah, we can get this key, right? We can just paste key over here and continue. Now it will ask for the install suggested plugin or custom plugin. So we will just select this suggested plugin. I have clicked on it. That's something showing something error. Let me see it again. Let me retry it. It is started to install the plugins, the default plugins getting installed. Now it's completed, and we need to give the username. I'm giving admin name, email address, save and continue. This is the URL, Jenkins URL. Now Jenkins is ready. Now this is Jenkins screen, dashboard is there. So let's go back to the PPT, and we can, we have done this thing, kubectl, we have tested this thing. Then we are moving, we finished this kubectl installation. Now this is the pipeline configuration. So what we will do next step in the Jenkins, we will create a CICD pipeline in Jenkins using code from Git-Hub. We will create a jar file using the Maven and using Docker file for creating custom Docker image. So we will use the Docker file also, I will show you this Docker file, and we will create a Docker image for the other jar file, right? Then we'll push Docker image to the Docker Hub and pull Docker image from the Docker Hub, and then deploy Docker image to the Kubernetes using the Kubernetes deployment YAML files, right? So we will follow this this step now for CI/CD pipeline. Before that, we need some plugins which is required for like Maven and Kubernetes. So we will just install Maven plugin in the Jenkins first. So here we need to go to Manage Jenkins, Manage Plugins, then, and in the available plugins, we will search for the Maven. Sorry, Maven. You can see Maven integration required in Maven. Maven invoker, right? Okay, so select it and we will just install without restart. Not installing, right? After that, we will start the Kubernetes and Kubernetes continuous deploy plugin. Right, is success. Now again, we go to the manage plugins available. Kubernetes, right? So we need this one and this one, right? Kubernetes continuous deploy, you can see. Now again, install without restart. So it will install this plugins here. You can see it is installed, right? Now we have done with this plugin installation. Now move to the Kubernetes config file, right? We have already covered this slide earlier, config file things. So moving to the next slide. Now we need to create a credentials and set the Maven path. Earlier we installed the Maven with this path. So just copy this path and we'll go to the manage Jenkins and global tool configuration, where we will give the path for the Maven. See, Maven, add Maven. I'm giving the name of Maven, and Maven home, we will select this. This is a home path for the Maven, right? I will show you this path in that our installation, right? I will show you. See, this is the Maven home path, right? And this is the bin folder. Okay. Now we have given this path and just apply and save. Now here we need to create a credentials for connecting. So we can go here, manage Jenkins. This one, creating global credentials. Then you can see here, add credentials is coming over here. So here we need to create some credentials for connecting, which will be used in the pipeline script. Like you can see, first we will create a credential for the GitHub. And next we will create a credential for connecting Docker Hub, right? Because here we will push the images, Docker images here. And after we need to create a credential to connecting the Kubernetes using the config file, right? So 3 credentials is required. So first one, I'm using the GitHub. So in GitHub, this is my user ID and password for the GitHub. And ID, we can select this one and description like this. This is created, right? Now again, we will create one more for the Docker Hub. Docker Hub, we need only secret text. We need to secret our password only, right? So we will select the secret text and a secret, we will enter the password for the Docker Hub. In the ID section, I am taking this ID because same ID we will use in the script, pipeline script, right? So I'm taking the same one, right? Now we have done this thing, and now again we need to create add credentials, and here I will select Kubernetes configuration kubeconfig, right? So here you can see this ID Kubernetes cluster config, right? And description, I am just removing the underscore, right? And here 3 ways we can connect using the kubeconfig. You can we can directly connect to the file to the Kubernetes master node, provide the credential for the server. We can copy the file from the .kube/config file. This is the first one. And second one, we can use the from the file from the Jenkins master. We can copy the file on the Jenkins master server and give the path over here. Third option is enter directly the files config total content for the config file here. So we'll use this method for enter directly. We have a already config file that we copied here, right, earlier. So I'm copying this config file totally here, right? And I'm just saving it, right? Okay. Now we have created the 3 credentials here, right? We have done this thing, right? Now move to the next one. So this is the GitHub repository URL which we will use here. This is Amit 873 and Jenkins Docker Kubernetes project 1. Because I have given 4 demo here, so we will use the same name with 1, 2, 3, 4 name, right? So I am going here in this GitHub repository, and you can see here it is connected to the config currently, but I need to change, go to the repository, and this is Jenkins Docker Kubernetes project 1, right? So see here, this is our GitHub repository, which is here, and the branch is main, right? So next step, we will create a pipeline over here. So we will create a project over there, and give the name of the project. We can take any name. So I am giving this name, and we will create a 5 stages over here. So what is the first stage? This is the first stage is SCM checkout. It means it will create, it will go to connect to the GitHub repository and take the contents. Next is stage 2, Maven clean package. We got the content from the GitHub in the first stage, and second stage, we will create a jar file for that using the Maven. Now it will create the jar file in the stage 3, build Docker image. We will create a Docker file for that, right? And after creating the Docker file using the same jar file, right? Now in stage 4, push Docker image to the Docker Hub, right? We will push this Docker image to the Docker Hub in the stage 4, and in stage 5, we will deploy, we will pull the Docker image from the Docker Hub and deploy to the Kubernetes cluster. After deploying it in the Kubernetes cluster, we will test the URL, right? Like that. We can test with the master server IP, or node server 1 or node server 2. Anyone we can use this deployment. And we will use here node port IP. I will say so earlier how to use the node port IP in the earlier video also, right? So let us start create a project first here. In the Jenkins side, right? Go to the dashboard, create a job. This is the name of the job. Here we can see multiple options are there, but we will use your pipeline, right? So description we can put like Jenkins project, right? Any description we can give. And in you can see in the pipeline it is showing pipeline script. It is using actually Groovy language, right? So we can use this pipeline script from SCM. That means we will use the Jenkins file for that, right? So that in Jenkins files we will use in the next video. But here we will use this pipeline scripts, right? You can see here sample pipeline scripts are there, right? For hello world, other things you can check it out. But here we will write down the script, right? And you can see here this is a pipeline syntax are there. You can click on it, then it will open that. And here we can generate the script. Like I'm giving example, suppose we want to generate the GitHub, right? Script. So this GitHub URL, I'm just copying. This is you are using this GitHub URL. I am copying it from here, right? And actually branch we are using main instead of master. We need to change here, right? And credentials, we have already created the GitHub credentials. This is earlier, right? So it is populating here. So we are just selecting it. You can see this is we have filled everything. Now if we will generate pipeline script, it will give us the code. This is generated, script is generated for that. So similarly we can generate multiple script over here. So before that writing this code, I want to explain you Docker file and this script. Then we will proceed here in this CICD pipeline, right? So I'm going to the GitHub repository. You can see here the simple SRC main Java code is there. And here you can see the Docker file which we will use here. See, for this Docker file, you can see we will take OpenJDK installation, right, from this Docker image, and then we will run the update command, right? And after that we will create a directory, and we will set the environment over here. This is a Docker. If we're creating the Docker file, these are the keyword for form, run, environment, copy. Multiple keywords are there, so we can use that keyword for creating the Docker file. In the copy command, you can take. We will create this jar file, creating this name in the target folder, because Jenkins is creating the target folder, and we are copying in the project home home folder, right? And we have already defined the environment variable for project home here for OPT apps, right? Now working directory, you can see project home, right? And you can see CMD, we are using here Java jar, and we are running this jar file, right? This is the Docker file which we will use here. And apart from Docker file, you can see here in the code side, this is see, this is the template application XML. Let me static we are using this image Amit logo.jpg. I will show you when we'll run this application. And resources, templates. You can see this is index.html file here. It will show over there. You can see here it is showing creating the Docker and Kubernetes demo here, and it is showing first name, last name, some email, right? Right. You can see and something description I have written over here. So I will show you this HTML file when we will run this Docker file, right? When it will deploy on the Kubernetes, then we will check it, right? And apart from it, we need to check that pipeline script, right? So this is the Jenkins file Kubernetes pipeline script we are using. This script we will use, right? So I'm telling you what is that. This is a node command. I told you we are using the 5 stages, right? So you can see this is the first stage, SCM checkout, and this is second stage, Maven clean package. This is third stage, build Docker image, right? And this is the fourth, push Docker image, right? And this was the fifth stage, deploy application in Kubernetes cluster, right? So here you can see in stage we have put some command, right? You can see that see it is same command which we have generated over here, right? You can see git branch main credential id git credential, like same thing which we generated here. The same thing we will use here, right? Same thing. After this first stage, we will use the second stage. Second stage, we are defining the Maven, because you know the Maven. This is the Maven which we have given the name of the tool. When we have configuration, the Maven command, Maven things, we have given that thing. I will show you again that thing. This is global tool configuration, and in the Maven, you can see I've given the name of Maven. So this name should be same whatever you are giving the tool name over here, right? Otherwise it won't work, right? So we are setting the Maven path over, and after that we are running command go to the home path bin and running the command clean package, right? Now after in the third stage, build Docker image, what we are saying, build command is there for Docker build -t, and this is the name of the this is the name of the image. This is the name of the image, this one. And this one is the my login name in the Docker Hub, because when we will push the image to the Docker Hub, that time we need our login name. So without it, it will not push to the registry. So for this, I'm using this my name. I will show you Docker Hub also. Let me open my Docker. Docker Hub login. Let me open. So you can see that thing. See, you can see images are there. It is starting with my name. This is my login, Maven2, right? So I'm adding same thing over here, Maven2 here. You can add your Docker Hub login ID over here, and you can put any name for creating the images like this. And this is I'm using as a variable. It is a build number, environment.build ID. It means when I'm coming to dashboard again. When this it will execute that, it will create a build number. Actually, we have still not run it, not showing over here. But when we will run, it will show over here. That number, that is the build number, we will get is in the environment.build ID directly. So our image will be so like that. Docker image will be created like this custom name colon 1 2 3 4 5 like that, right? And after that, when we want to push the Docker image, then we need to connect to the Docker Hub. That with we know this with credentials we can connect to the Docker Hub like that. So with credentials command we can also see over here in the pipeline script. See with credentials, right? We can add secret file, right? So we can generate over from here also. So same thing. Let me open this one. We have created over here, and it will show the string and variable name. So this variable name is our credential ID. I'm showing you. See, this is credential ID. This is Docker Hub credentials which we created. So we are using this credential ID over here. Same variable name. And this ID, when we are logging with this Docker Hub, that time we are using minus username. This is MN to my username in this password we have used over here. Right? This is the connection. After creating the connection, we will push the images to the Docker Hub. This is Docker push directly to this number to the Docker Hub. Right? Now we will show you how to create this script in the pipe generation script. Let's go there. Here we will select this with credential, bind credential to variable, and in this binding we need to select the secret text because you have selected this one, right? We need to put only password over there, right? So when we will select, it will select automatically that Docker Hub credential because you have already created this thing, right? So it will show we are putting variable name and same variable name, and we are just click on the generate pipeline script, right? So you can see here. Let me remove once. Not removing. It is not. Let me. Okay. Let me do one thing. I am selecting some other things and generate. Okay, now it changed, right? Now I am again generating same script here, so it will which will do all with credentials, right? And same thing, it is coming over there. Now we need to generate the pipeline, right? You can see same command. This one we are using over there, and some block. It means here we need to put login to the credentials, right? Now after that, what we will do, we will deploy into a cluster. So we will use the Kubernetes deploy, and we will use this config file spring boot mongo.yml file because we will deploy our services and deployment using the YML file. I will show this YML file also. And now what is this? This is a kube config ID. We will use this for connecting to the Kubernetes. We will use this credentials. This credentials we have already created. You can see here, this is created earlier with the Kubernetes cluster config, right? So this is one enable configuration substitution is true, means it will take all those things from the XML file and this stage will deploy the things on the Kubernetes cluster. So let's check this Spring Boot mango.yml file. See, this is Spring Boot mango.yml file. I'm just opening it. You can see here that it is used some config map, which is storing the credentials over there. So this is Kubernetes Kubernetes things who know the Kubernetes who knows how to use the config map, that thing. So only this is API version v1 and kind is config map, and this is a name data which want to put in the config map, this username and password like that. Generally it is working on the key value pair, right? So after that, it is created the replication controller over there, and this is replication controller. And I told earlier in the last video, Kubernetes is working on the API version, kind, metadata, and specs. 4 major features are there. This is the things, right? So kind is a replication controller. And you can see number of replica. One, it means it will create only one pod for this. If we increase that replicas, then it will create a 3, 4, 3, then it will create the 3 pods, right? And here you can see I'm using the same image over there using the tag version, right? It is showing the tag version. Tag version will be updated over here, right? I think tag version, for updating the tag version, I'm showing you, I put this script over here also. See, same command I've added here. I think this line was missing in that script earlier. So I'm just, what is this line script is there? We need to use this set command to convert to tag version to the current build number. You know, suppose build number is 1, then this build number is, we will changing every time. Then this will replace by 1, and what it will replace? It will replace the tag version. Tag version where? In the Spring Boot mango.xyml file, right? So here this will automatically change by the set command, and it will replace by 1, 2, 3, whatever is value it is coming over there, right? So this is the image we are using. This is a custom image we have created in this pipeline, right? And after that, this is the configuration, some configuration for the MongoDB, because here we are using the two services over there. First service we are using like a Spring Boot, right? And this service type is node port. Here you can see we are not defining the node port IP, so it will take automatically node port when it will create it, when the service will create, right? Now this is the first service which will use this selector is Spring Boot, so it will take the selectors Spring Boot from this level. You can see selector is there, so it will take this replication controller with this services, right? Now second is for second replication controller is created again here with the name of the Mongo controller, right? Here this is the Mongo only using for the database. So here container we are using the Mongo image. This is image, right? Directly we will take from the server Docker Hub repository, right? And after that we configure some credentials for that, and here we are using the volume mount for that. This is volume mount similar with the Docker volume mount, where we can mount our volume with a different Docker engine to the local system also. Same thing we have mounted over in the Kubernetes also. We can do it. So we will show you Docker Docker mount volume in the next upcoming videos because we will use the Docker image for creating the Jenkins. Then I will show you. And here we created one service for the Mongo, which is type is cluster IP, because it is cluster IP type means it will not accessible from the outside. It will accessible only from the inside things. And this is the target port for the port it is defined over here, right? And here we are using selector Mongo. It means it will pick, this service will pick this. See this Mongo, this deployment replication control pick, it will pick this replication controller. Though this service is attached with this this replication controller, and this service is attached with the above replication controller. So we have created two services over here. So when we will run this, we will get two services and two replication controller, and every replica is one. Then we will get the two ports, right? One port for this one, and second port for this one, right? I hope it is clear to you. And let's deploy, create the pipeline, because I explained everything over here. So let's copy directly from this place and and run in our pipeline, put in our code. Now it is already in our this project, right? Our job now we need to configure it. When we will configure, we can see go to the pipeline and we can directly put this code, right? This is the same code which we have discussed earlier, right? Same 5 stages. So let's save it and run it. Right. So now I am just click on build now. It will build now. I am building it manually. When it will run, then we will do it automatically, right? The next step. Now, first step, it is doing the SCM checkout. Let's see the console for the log. You can see the console output here. It is cloning the repository. You can see here, this repository is cloned, and you can see this place, right? Now here it is start the second stage, clean packages. So it is downloading the dependency from the pom.xml. You can see it is downloading the things, right? Now let's scroll down. First time it is taking time for downloading the all dependency, but second time it will run fast, right? I think it is done everything. Let's check. See, it is creating, it is, you can see it is a build success, second stage, right? Now finished, right? In this time, now it is creating third stage, creating the Docker image, right? Now you can see build command is used for creating the Docker image. Now you can see it is taking one value. This is environmental because it is showing one first number, right? And after that, it is creating the Docker file and pulling the things from Docker. And after that, it is running all those step 2 of 7, because we have 7 steps in the Docker file. It is running every steps, and after that successfully build, you can see here, right? And this is created this name of the Docker image, right? After that, it is push Docker image, right? Push Docker image to Docker Hub. Now it is trying to connect. First, it will connect to the Docker Hub. You can see login succeed with the Docker Hub, right? Now, after that, you can see it is pushing to the Docker Hub. The push, it is pushing, right? Now, after that, it's pushed right? It is pushed, right, successfully. See this one. Now after pushing it, it is running that set command and changing the tag version 1 in the Spring Boot.mongo.yml file, right? After running it, it is running the kubectl apply command and run this command, and after that it is creating, you can see, creating everything right here. Spring Mongo created, these two services are created. One first service, this one is Spring Boot, second service is Mongo, and replication controller, first controller you can create it this one name, right, and second controller is this one, Mongo controller, right, and this is finished success. Now I will show you the things. You can see here, this is showing in the build number 1, right, and you can see all 5 stages is showing here in the pipeline, and is showing green, all are completed, right? So let's check in the Kubernetes side whether we have got all those services or not, right? So before we will check the Docker images, Docker Hub with Docker images pushed, right? I will show you that thing also. I already log in that Docker Hub, right? So see here, nothing is there, so I'm just refreshing it. You can see just 4 minutes ago it is created, like, right? And I'm just opening it. It is showing tag number 1, right? It is just finished in Docker Hub, right? Now let's check on the Kubernetes side. So go to the master machine. I think this is the manager machine, right? So let's check kubectl get all. Now you can see here we will get 2 services. We will get two services. This service's name is Mongo and one service's name is Spring Boot. You can see it is a Mongo is an internal communication. So so we are defining here by cluster IP because here, and it is not giving any port for connecting it. But this Spring Boot we have given the type of services is node port. So it is showing the node port IP for connecting it, right? So let's check whether we can connect this application or not. So go back to the PPT. You can see here, what is it? This one. We can test it via master server IP and node port IP, node port, right? And this is the node one server IP. Let's take any IP, right, and just check it. So go to the cloud platform here. You can see here we have a manager here. I'm just copying the things, and let's check over here, right? And port number is 30872. 30872, right? We will check it. You can see here we got this page, right? Docker and Kubernetes demo. As we have seen in the index.html file, it's showing first name, last name, email, submit, save user. You can see this is icon we have added, right? And this is message we have written. So let's check with other IP, right? You can check with this IP also. We can check it out. Node 1 server. 30, what is the port number? 872. We will get the same thing, right? Now next Next one, we can copy the node to IP also. 30872, right? Now it is working fine, right? Now it is successfully deployed our file to the Kubernetes cluster, and I will show you pods, right? Details of the pod. Let me show you. You can see one pod is running for the Mongo controller, one for the Spring controller, right? So we just want to know ports. These ports are running on the which nodes, right? We can know that. kubectl get ports -o. You can see here, this is running, both the ports are running on the node 2, right? And this is a pod IP, right? Pod IP address. So we have run this thing manually, build now we need to do it automatically. So this is the webhook configuration we need to do for that. So what we need to do, we need to create this, take the payload URL, we need to create it. So let copy in the Git here, notepad, and I'm just taking the IP of this Jenkins server, right? I think we got more 2 times, right? Let me delete it. So this is our webhook URL. We need to configure into GitHub, right? So let me go to the GitHub. This is our GitHub project. So go to the setting, and here you can see webhook, right? So go there, and I've already added something. So we need to just change. It is asking for the password. Okay. So this is the URL. I'm just replacing with this, right? I'm updating it. Or other way we can add it, right? Right now it is updated over here, right? Now what we need to next go into the Jenkins file. We need to configure one more thing for webhook. In this project, we have only one, right? You can see here. Now we need to configure here, and under the build trigger section, you can see one GitHub hook trigger for GIT-SM polling. So we need to check it for taking the request from the webhook. So just I'm saving it, right? It's saved. Now next step is we need to change in this project. So what I will do, I will clone it. This project, let me see, click on here. I'm copying it, right? And now this is the download folder, right? So I am doing here git clone this one, right? This is my local system, right? You can see here, it will create this file. Let me open from the browser site, right? Go to the download. It will show this folder just created, right? Okay. I'm opening it and go to the src main resources template index.html, right? I'm just opening in the notepad. I'm just adding this demo. Today is 10 December 20, right? So currently, what we are getting this demo, right? Only no dates are there. So we are just adding this thing and I'm saving here. Now I will go to this Jenkins folders, right? This project, right? You can see this one. Yeah, now I'm just checking the Git status because you have changed one file. So it is showing here modified one file, right? So because we have modified, so we can directly commit to the local repository using -a-m directly add and commit, right? Update it, right? We did something. So one file change, right? Now we need to push. When I will push it, it will start. You can see here we have only one, right? It will start the second build, right? Let's push it. Git push. Now it is pushed, right? We can see the Git status. We are okay, right? Now you can see here just it is started second build over here. You can see it is deploying the things. Now it is creating the jar, build out Docker image, push Docker images again, pushing it. And now after that, it is deployed, right? Now you can see this is a build number 2, right? So whatever image is pushed, now it will save it to number 2, right? You can see in the log file as well as in the console output, you can see here. I will show you. This is build success, right? Now you can see it is taking 2 number, right? Again, it is pushing to this 2 number, right? So I will show you in the Docker Hub what happened here, right? Let me refresh it. Now you can see this is the second build is just a minute ago it is created, right? Now just go and refresh these things again. Let me check whether it is reflecting or not, right? Let me refresh it. It is not reflecting. Let me check our Docker Kubernetes. What happened? Get all. See, it is showing our ports are deployed, right? Running, and it is node port service is running on 30872. We can check it again. We'll try 30872, right? Let me. Now we are refreshing again this thing and check. Yeah, it is showing that, right, in the changes, our changes over here. And after that, if you're refreshing it, then it is showing, yeah, over here also. And this is a third IP where it is showing over here, right? Yeah. Now it is changes have been done, right? Now in our PPT, you can see this is a webhook configuration has been done, and we have tested this URL also, right? So I hope it is clear to you. And in the next part, next video, we will discuss on that Jenkins Docker image and custom Kubernetes cluster again. But here, what we will use as a Jenkins Docker image. Jenkins is a Docker image. We will just try it. So hope it will understand to you. But and for any query, write me. If you like this video, don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel. Thank you. We will meet in the next video. Thanks.